Okay, wonderful. I'm recording here. So, um, see what time it is. Perfect. All right, ladies. Here's another weekly Zoom record for you for Pilates. So, um, as we always do, we'll start on our back. We'll begin with our breathing. We'll do a little stretching, and then we'll get into the work. So, go ahead and move back here. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and ground ourselves. On our back, rolling down, knees bent, feet grounded, aligning with hip bones, narrow stance. Make sure the feet are paralleled here as well. Arms are going to rest beside you, but slightly out with palms faced up. Feel the backs of your shoulders lightly press into the floor, which is going to roll the shoulders open and broaden you across your chest. Let the chin land fist distance from your chest. So the back of your neck is really long and you want to feel the crown of your head reaching to the back of your workspace. Letting the eyes close here, which will take us a little bit more inward, finding focus to the self. And then we can connect the mind and body through our breath. So take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And then a long exhale out through the mouth. Deep inhale, fill to the top. Then a long exhale, empty down to the very bottom. As you're breathing in, feel the ribs expanding out to their sides. As you exhale, squeezing breath out and knitting the ribs back to midline. So easy inhales through the nose. Powerful exhales through the mouth. Let the breath out be nice and audible. Maybe place one hand to your belly and feel as you inhale, the belly rises, muscles are relaxed. When you exhale, push the breath out. Feel the muscles firming to release the air, engaging of your core. So take the next few moments here to stay here with this breath. Focusing on connecting mind and body. Building up relationship between breath and core. And seeing if you can pull your abs in even deeper each time you breathe out. Go ahead and take 3 more cycles of breath here. Couple more, breath in. Force it out. Once more, breath in. As you exhale, interlace the fingers, take your hands behind your head, lift elbows to the sky. Take another inhale. Exhale, lift back of head and neck off ground, chin into the chest. Keep the lift, keep the hold, breathe in. Exhale, release back down to the floor again. A couple more times, inhale. Exhale, let the head be heavy as you lift it up, chin pressing down. Then as you inhale, send it to the back of your neck, all the way down through the shoulder blades. And then return back down to the ground. Exhale one last time, breath in. Exhale, lift back of head, back of neck, chin pressed down. Let's keep the lift here on an inhale using hands. Turn your head a little bit to the right. And then exhale, twist it over to the left. So one breath, one movement. Inhale, turn head over to the right. Exhale it over to the left. One more time. Inhale to the right side. Exhale to the left side. Bringing head to center as you inhale. And then exhale, release the head back down. Remove the hands and extend your arms up to the sky. Palms face each other. On a breath in, shrug the shoulders up high. And then exhale, plug them back down into the floor. So what we want to avoid mostly during our practice is the shrug up, breathe in, feel how it is in your body for the arms to be here. And then exhale, when you plugged back down, notice how this feels, and this is what we want to maintain throughout. We'll do 2 more. Reach high, breathe in. Start to cave the chest in, and then exhale as the shoulders plug down, the chest broadens out. 1 more time, reach high, breathe in. And then exhale, plug in, keep that plug. Breathe in now, lift arms behind you to the back of your workspace. Exhale, circle the arms around. Lower them by your sides. Again, arms lift up and reach behind you. Exhale, sweep out, sweep down, reach to the heels. 2 more times. As the arms lift and reach overhead, pull the belly in, seal the ribs down. Exhale, open up wide, reach down low. Let's do that once more. Inhale as high as you can lift, as far back as you can reach without your back arching. Open as wide as you can, reach down as low as you can. Pause. Okay, so we're just getting a little bit of movement into our shoulders here. Take then the arms out to T with palms faced up. Walk your feet out so they're shoulder width. Do the same with your knees. Wide stance with legs. Inhale, lower your legs to the right. Core strength on the exhale to pull the legs up slow. Then inhale, lower the legs to your left. Stretching into lower back and fronts of hips. Exhale, use your core to pull the legs up. The legs should be doing little to no work. Take the legs to the right again. Breath in. Force the breath out. Pull up slow. Exhale. Use your core strength to do all that. Lower to the left. Breath in. Lift up. Exhale. Let's do 1 more to each. Back over to the right. Inhaling. Exhale. Pull slow. Once more. Breath in. Over to the left. Force the air out. Lift the legs up. Pause here. Heel toe the feet back to hip width. Knees the same. Draw the knees into the chest. And then take both legs now to the right side. Look over your left shoulder. Hold this rotation. A little bit more movement of the spine with the legs stacked and close. You have options to take right hand to the top of the left knee to press down onto. The left leg can straighten out, which may stretch a bit of your IT band. The left leg can also hook underneath the right, and that will intensify your twist. Breathe into the space. Make sure that left shoulder is still anchored down. Take 1 more breath in. Tighten up that belly and lift legs up through center, head through center. If legs were crossed, uncross them, breathe in. Exhale, lowering down to the left, looking over right shoulder, your rotation again. And those variations, hand to the outside of the right knee to press into. Right leg can straighten out across the room, IT band. Right leg could cross underneath left leg for more rotational intensity. But make sure your breath is still big, right quality is still there. And 1 more breath in. Tighten belly, exhale, lift slow. Legs through, head through. Once there, if legs were crossed, uncrossed, return feet to the ground. Let's lower the arms beside us. So then right ankle is going to cross over the left knee, flex the foot, push the leg out. Create a lot of space to that hip. And then any variation of this figure 4 stretch that you would like to take. If you're choosing to hold your left leg, make sure the shoulders are actively pulling down to the floor. If you are offering movement, it's very slow and gentle and mindful. The right leg should still be actively pushing out, so there is a bit of effort required to stay in this space. You're focused on the right side and you want to breathe into that part of your body. And then if you were in movement, coming back to still, release the stretch. Let's switch to the other side. Left ankle over right knee, energy through the heel of your foot, pushing the leg away from you, opening up the hip. Again, any variation you'd like to take in this stretch. Keep grounding your tailbone to the earth. Make sure the back of your neck still is nice and long. You could play around with movement, or you could stay in stillness. You could even just decide to shift your body weight over more to one side and just hold that, depending upon what you're needing in that stretch. But big breaths being sent to that left hip. Wonderful. Then if you had offered movement or shifted yourself, come back to center. Let's release the stretch and lift both legs to the sky next. Point your toes here to keep the legs long and firm. Hold the back of your right leg with both hands, and then begin to lower the left leg down the floor. Head and shoulders can stay grounded. Head and shoulders can be lifted. We're mainly focused on the hamstring stretch, but we also are working our core strength here. 2 pulses in with the right leg as you inhale. Switch the leg slowly as you exhale. Hold the left leg, pulse in twice, and then switch. Continue this movement, working slowly, maintaining length. So if you're pulsing the leg in and the knee is bending, you're not actually getting a pull to the backside of your legs. So you may have to lessen the range of motion in that pulse back in order to keep your legs long. Your core is in tight to support and stabilize your upper body so that it does not move as the legs do. If your head is up, eyes are on your navel. If you ever start to feel strain in your neck, taking the head back to the floor, redirect focus back to your core. Staying in this stretch. We'll keep this for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Both legs lift to sky. Release, knees in, recovery, rest. So if you'd like movement here, certainly feel free. If you prefer stillness, that is okay as well. Okay. All right, so let's come back into still. Keep the knees drawn in. Arms are going to be close beside you here. If you do need a little bit more support, take the arms out to T. We're going to go through a little bit of a leg extension series next. So take a breath in. On the exhale, extend the legs away from your body as long as they can go. Point through your toes. And then draw the knees back in again on an inhale. Exhale again, extending the legs away, so closer to sky will be a little bit more modified. Further forward will be more intense. Draw the knees back in again on an inhale. Gus's back from his walk. Let's do 4 more. 4. Draw back in again. Make sure not to lift your middle back off the ground. Press it into the floor as you're extending out. Inhale for the knees to pull in. 2 more times. Core is firming when the legs are extending, protecting your lower back. Knees to chest. Breathe in. 1 more time. Slow extension away. And then draw the knees in, hands to knees, recovery, rest. So like I mentioned, we're doing a series, so we're just going to build off of that movement. Okay. So for the next set, we're going to offer in also a little bit of an abdominal curl. An abdominal curl is a small lift of the head, neck, and shoulders. So in order to do that, we'll keep the knees in, and this time we'll start with the arms extended up above the shoulders. Let's have the palms faced forward. Make sure your hands are shoulder width apart to create nice distance. Fingertips reach up, but without shrugging shoulders. So at the same time, you have to plug the shoulders down. Knees are into chest, take an inhale. On the exhale, as the legs extend outward, lift up head, neck, and shoulders, lower arms down to a hover, like you're coming into your hundreds. Draw the knees in, lower the head and shoulders, restack the arms. Again, belly tight, lift up. As you extend out, bring down to hover with the arms. They're firm like a board. Bring it back to the floor again on an inhale. We're doing 4 more of these. 4. Eyes to navel. Release. Inhale. 3 more times. Come down. Make sure the upper half and lower half are moved simultaneously. 2 more times. Lift, extend, long through toes, long through fingertips. Come down. Breathe in. With this last one, extend, lift, hover, stay here. Now pump the arms. Keep the legs still, torso still, arms only. 5, breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest again, recovery. So for our last sequence of this leg extension, it's actually going to be a completely different exercise. Double leg stretch, which is part of the abs series. So there's going to be more movement in other parts of the body, and the breathing pattern is just going to switch a little bit. So we're going to start with the knees in, as we do in leg extensions. This time though, the hands are on our knees, and you can either choose to keep your head grounded or lifting up for more intensity. So now instead of the exhale, our inhale is going to extend the legs away as well as the arms, reaching away from center body. Then exhale, sweep the arms around, draw the knees into your chest, your back into a ball again. Inhale, lengthen out through toes and fingertips. Exhale, pull it back into center. 4 more. 4. Spine pushing down. Exhale, pull in. 3 more. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. 2 more times. Reach away, higher to the sky if you're needing, right? Exhale, pull in. 1 more time, reach it out. Keep the legs extended, bring the arms back to hover again. Pump the arms. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Recover, rest. Big breath in, big breath out. Cleanse it out. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and lift the legs to the sky next. Again, pointed toes is going to firm the legs. It's going to activate the muscles, which is going to help to support your joints. It's also going to help support the length of those legs. So from the legs long, we tend to pull them in too closely. Want us to make sure the tailbone is rooted down. You're going to feel your core tightening to support that. Arms either close beside you or out to T for support. On an inhale, let's go ahead and take the legs, shift them slightly to the right. Then on an exhale, draw a small circle down, over to the left, and stack the legs above the hips again. Pause. Inhale now, shifting both legs to the left, circle down, exhale, to the right, stack to the sky, pause. So you're going to continue to alternate clockwise, then a counterclockwise circle. Notice here my legs are moving, but my upper body stays nice and still. I want the backs of the hips to never seesaw here. So this actually requires a lot of core strength to stabilize and support. You can have a bend in the knees if you're needing, if you're feeling this kind of strain or pull in your hip flexors or your lower back. Let's do one more in each direction. Inhale, initiate, exhale, follow through. One last time, breath in for beginning, exhale for the finisher. Once you're stacked up again, draw the knees into chest, recovery here. Gus. Gus apparently is my assistant today. Okay, so that was corkscrew. We're going to do similar breathing pattern, but now the legs are going to move in opposite directions. So we are going to be focused on using hip strength for this, also working on range of motion in the hip joints. So I'm actually going to just turn myself around so you can see a little bit better about the movement of the legs. So I'm going to start with legs up to the sky. Have an external rotation this time, so your heels point towards each other, toes kind of splay out to the sides. And again, pointed toes to help lengthen and lock the legs up. Arms either, again, close beside you or out to T. So now on a breath in, we're going to take the legs, open them up as wide as we can to a big V. Here's that hip movement. Then on the exhale, sweep them downward, bring them together, lift them up above the hips again. So breath in, open legs up wide, sweep down, together, lift. I'm going to do two more in this direction. Opening up, exhale, sweep down, in, lift. One more time, opening out, sweep down, together, lift, pause. Now we'll do that, but reversing direction. So we're going to start lowering the legs downward first. Open, exhale, sweep up, then together again. Breath in, coming down. Opening and circling up two more times. Inhale for lower. Exhale, open and sweep up. One last time, coming down with resistance. Open wide, sweep up, and then recover. Rest. Release. Okay. Scooch back this way. And then we're going to lengthen the legs now down onto the floor. Flexed feet. Right? Pushing out through your heels, lifting your toes to the sky, making sure the inner edges of your feet are paralleled. Imagine you had like a narrow rectangular block between your legs you were squeezing onto with your inner thighs. Arms stretch overhead with palms facing each other, hands shoulder width. Physically slide your shoulder blades down your back. And then if you notice that the ribs have popped up a bit, I want you to really seal the lower ribs down and firm in your belly. Okay, on an inhale, begin to peel off the floor, arms, head, shoulders. Exhale, using your core strength, pull your body up, sit tall, and then a deep, slow fold over the legs, getting a deep back body stretch. Stack back up again on your inhale, good posture. Then on your exhale, you're starting to tuck under from your tailbone, you're scooping out your core, you're driving forward with your heels, and you're making your way back to the ground again with control. You start again. As you're inhaling, you're starting your movement. Force the breath out, press the legs down, and lift your heart up high. Hinge from the hips as you fold, let the head drop through and plug the shoulders back into sockets. Stack tall, breathe in. Make sure that you look straight ahead as you come down. We never want the chin to press into chest. Keep it neutral. If you want more of a challenge, make sure the arms continue to frame your ears, particularly on the way up and down. Inhale, start it. Exhale without the arms pulling forward. Can you come up? Hinge. Stack upright, breath in. Maybe the arms feel like they're trying to pull behind your ears. On the way down. We're going to take one more. If you want even more heat, stack one hand on top of the other, palms to sky, elbows wide. Keep those hands glued to forehead. Breath in, start movement. Lift tall on the exhale. Hinge, Hold. Stack tall as you breathe in. Let's stay stacked. Let's exhale, just lower the arms beside us. Let's for a moment tense your fingers, placing your hands by either hip, push off the ground, lift your chest up, pull your shoulders down, belly in, right? That's just to get your posture up high, tall, and then from there, removing the fingertips and extending your arms out in front of you. Or not out in front of you, sorry, out beside you. Fingers spread wide, reach from wall to wall and hug between your shoulder blades. Legs are hugged together. You can have a little bend in your knees if you're needing. Get a little bit taller as you inhale. With your waistline strength, rotate to the right. But make sure that that left arm doesn't continue to pull across. That's actually fighting you a bit, drawing back. Center as you inhale. Exhale to the left. Get taller as you rotate. Make sure the legs do not move. Center on the inhale. So this is a lot of back body strengthening and waistline strengthening. To the right again. Exhale. Breathe in through center. You're also getting that spinal movement, that rotation. Rotate and twist and squeeze it out. Good. Come back through center. Stay center. Draw circles now with your arms. Control this though. So noticing my arms here have movement, of course, but nothing else in my body does. So I'm using my core strength for stabilizing my body, using my shoulder and upper back strength for the movement. 3, breathe it out. 2, belly in and up. 1, don't lose the posture, pause. Reverse direction, inhale, exhale for 3. Keep those fingers spread. 2, and reaching outward. 1, good. On an inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend the elbows, pull down. Slide the shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, pull down. Have resistance. Imagine you had a barbell above your head pulling behind you. Reach up on inhale, spread the fingers out again, and then pull that bar down behind the head so your arms have to draw back here. Extend up on an inhale. We're strengthening still shoulders and upper back. Exhale, pull that imaginary bar down behind you, and then reach your arms up high. We'll do that one more time. Exhale, pull imaginary barbell down behind the head. Let's take one more reach up on an inhale. This time on the exhale, slowly melt forward over the legs. Let your head relax, feet relax, arms relax. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Again, breathe into the back body. Exhale, let it release. And then with your next inhale, begin to slowly roll and stack yourself up to seated. Good, let's go ahead and transition to kneeling from here. Tall kneeling towards the back of your workspace. So you want shoulders above hips, hips above knees. Arms beside you. Straighten them down long. Right, firm up the arms. Stretch your fingertips to the earth. Palms face behind you, heart lifted, belly in. Look straight on, take an inhale. As you exhale, press the arms back first, then start lifting them to the sky. Don't let the hands widen to get up higher, right? Keep the hands shoulder width apart, and then lower down on an inhale. Exhale, press back first, then find the lift upward. Tricep activation. Come down on an inhale. We're working our core to make sure that the shoulders don't lean forward as the arms reach behind. Belly tight. This is also a chest opener. Lower the arms. 2 more times. Exhale, press back, then find the lift. Float down on an inhale. 1 more time. Press back, lift up, hold the arms here. Turn and look over your right shoulder. But don't let the arms sink, so keep pressing them actively to sky. Look over that shoulder as much as you can. Then take the head through center. Turn, look over your left shoulder. And again, arms still pressing up. Good. Look straight on, and then pump the arms up for 3, 2, 1. Take the arms down slow. Shake them out. Good. Okay. So we worked on opening up the heart space, working into triceps and core. We're going to work a little bit more next into the lower half of our body, like quads, glutes, abs. Arms this time are going to be extended out in front of you, in line with shoulders. Drop the shoulders down, lift the heart up, pull the belly in, and make sure that your knees are hip width apart for support and stability. Tops of feet are pressing down. On an inhale, we're going to lean back, keeping your body in that line of energy. Exhale, squeeze the glutes, pull belly in, draw the body back up again, nice and vertical. So on an inhale, we're going to lean back, feel the glutes fired up, the quads fired up, the belly engaged, and then exhale, slowly pull back up again. We're going to do 4 more of these. Inhale, leaning back slow. Exhale, pulling back up. 3 more. Inhale, lean back. Chest lifted, chest opened. Exhale, pull up slow, right? So we don't want to use any sort of momentum here. Again, lean back. Lift slow. With this last one, we're going to lean back. We're going to hold this space for 3, core tight, 2, glutes squeezed, 1, good, slowly pull up, hands down, tabletop. We're going to get a stretch into our quad. So from your tabletop, right leg lengthens back, right forearm down, hip to floor. Left leg long, hip to floor, left forearm down. We land in Sphinx pose. So make sure that you're not collapsing into the arms. You want to be lifting out of them. Take your left forearm across the mat space. Bring your right heel into your glute and catch hold of foot or ankle or pant leg. Okay. And then flex the foot if you can. Make sure that hip is still pushing into the ground. Make sure you're lifting out of that left arm so you're not collapsing. Right? If you're collapsing, it makes it a lot harder to grab hold of that right leg. So pushing off the ground is going to give you that lift and that reach back. And then an option to roll your right shoulder open and perhaps look over the shoulder, but not a requirement. Take 1 more breath in here. And then on the exhale, let that gently release. Right leg reaches back, then right forearm comes across your workspace. Left heel to glute, catch hold, flex the foot, press the hip into the ground, and feel the knee try to push to the back of your workspace. Press out of that right arm, lift out of it, and then maybe that left shoulder rolls open. Perhaps you can look over that left shoulder. Again, an option, not a requirement for your body. We're mainly focused on that left hamstring, or I'm sorry, not hamstring, quad, front of the leg. 1 more breath in. And then gently let the leg release. Let's go ahead and cross one arm over the other. Rest our forehead onto the forearms. We're going to work into some back body strengthening, so upper, middle, lower back, and some glutes as well. Just checking what the time is when I start. We've got about 20-25 minutes left. Wonderful. Okay. So, forehead grounded onto the arms. Hip heads are your anchor point. Press them down. Then as you inhale, just lift your head and chest away from the floor. Not using arm strength. We're not pushing off the ground. We're just floating up using back body strength. Then on your exhale, you're going to pull the arms up to meet your hairline. Take both arms down as you breathe in. Take the head and heart down as you breathe out. Again, inhale, head and chest come up first. Keep looking downward towards the floor, but slightly in front of your arms. Exhale, pull the arms up to your hairline. Take just arms down first on the inhale. Take the head and heart down on the exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, Head and heart find their lift. Exhale, pull the arms up to meet the hairline. Take just arms down, breathe in. Take head and heart down as you breathe out. Last one here. Inhale, head and heart, lift. Keep your middle back strong. Exhale, pull arms up to meet. Stay lifted here. Breathe in, open the arms out to T. Exhale, bend the elbows, pull them back towards your hips. Create the letter W with your arms. Now extend the arms forward on an inhale. Exhale, bend elbows. You're going to sweep them out, then in and down. Hands are a bit wider here in this space. Extend arms forward again on an inhale. We'll do 2 more of those. Exhale, bend elbows, sweep out, then in, then down. Not to sky, that will pinch. We want to activate instead. Extend arms forward on an inhale. One last time. Exhale, sweep out and in to the letter W. Reach forward with both arms on an inhale. Cross them again and land on the floor. So I'm traveling a little bit more downward to lower back and glutes. Feet are shoulder width apart. Hips are your anchor. Press them down. Breathe in. Exhale, squeeze your glutes. Lift your legs up. Stretch back with your toes. Come down with the legs on and inhale. All with control, right? So we never move quickly. Exhale, squeeze glutes. Use muscle strength only to pull the legs off the floor. Lower back down on an inhale. We're doing 4 more of these. 4. And release. 3 more times. Lift. And then release. 2 more times. Hips press down, glute squeeze, legs lift. We reach back with toes. And down on an inhale. Last one, let's lift the legs up. Let's hold them there. Toes are pointed. Breathe in. Now on your exhale, flex your feet, bend at the knees, curl your heels in towards your glutes and connect the inner corners of your heels together. Eyes are still up. Then stretch the legs back, point your toes again. Feet widen out now. Exhale, flex, curl, connect inner corners of the heels. Point back. Extend back, inhale. 2 more of these. Activate hamstrings. Curl in. Thighs are still off the floor. Point back, breathe in. Once more, curl. Exhale, squeeze in. Reach back, point toes, inhale. Float the legs down, exhale. Uncross the arms, extend them out in front of you. Our finisher for the back body, hips push down. Use them as an anchor point. Take a breath in. On your exhale, slowly lift everything off the ground. Your arms, head, heart, and legs, like Superwoman. And then begin to come right into your swimming. Your arms and legs are stiff like a board, and you're paddling them up and down. Controlling your center body, keeping head still, torso still. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and then rest. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, hug your legs together, slowly press back into a child's pose. Ease into it. So this is a counter movement from what we had just done, right? We were arching the back a bit with that lift. We're strengthening all those muscles, and now we're slowly stretching them out. So we don't want to jar our bodies too much. We want to take our time to come into this space. And just breathe into your lower back here. So as you inhale, send it down low, fill up the backside. Exhale, release it out. One more time, breath into your lower back. And then exhale, come forward to tabletop position. Separating the knees, hip width apart. Stretching into the shoulders next. On an inhale, take your right arm, sweep it out to the side and reach it to the sky. Let your eyes follow the hand up. Then as you exhale, let the eyes follow the hand as the arm threads through. You turn and look to the left, stretch the arm across the floor, and lower and rest onto the arm. Your hips are lifted to the sky. Then tent the fingers of your left hand. Step the hand a bit off to the side, elbow points upward. Push off those fingertips and try to roll open towards the sky more. Just bring a little bit more weight to that right shoulder, the back of it. Then take the left arm, reach it up high. Bend at the elbow, turn the palm of the face up, and take the top of your left hand, try to reach it over towards your right hip. We want to stay down low on our back, not high. That brings tension to the shoulder, neck region. We want to draw away. And then the top of the hand pushes into the lower back to try to roll that shoulder open as well. So we're stretching the front of the left shoulder, the back of the right shoulder. Good. With your next inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, take the hand to the ground, unwind. Tabletop. We'll do the other side. Left arm sweeping out and up, breathe in, follow the hand. Exhale as it threads. Look to the right, reach across actively as you come down onto the arm. Once you've kind of landed, tented fingers of right hand, stepping the hand to side, pushing off fingertips, rolling open. Then take the right arm up, breathe in. Exhale, bend at the elbow, top of the hand, crossing it behind you towards your left hip. Press into the back, shoulder pulls back to open it up. With your next inhale, lift the right arm up to the sky. As you breathe out, take the hand to the floor, push off the ground, unravel back to your tabletop position. Wonderful. From your tabletop, let's find a seated space now at the center of your mat. Extend the legs out long in front of you, pushing through heels, lifting up toes. Find your posture, chest up, shoulders back, belly in. Then reach the arms out in front. Take a breath in, get a little bit taller. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under, roll back a little bit, hold here. Chest up, chest lifted. Looking straight on. Come back a little bit further. Keep tucking under and scooping out. Use your legs as an anchor point. Press them down. Roll back a little bit further. Drop shoulders from ears. Keep chin neutral. Come back a little bit further. Pull the belly in even deeper. Continue your steady, full breath. Come back a little bit further. Keep driving out with those heels away from the body. Come back down a little bit more. Chest still open. Never let it cave. Come back down a little bit further. Maybe you're starting to kind of quiver, and that's okay. We're going to hold this space for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll all the way down to the floor. Okay. Let's roll onto our left side body next to do some outer hip strengthening. So lying on your left side, you want to be in a straight line and you want to be stacked. Right hand onto your hip, left leg anchored down, right leg hovered, flexed foot, internal rotation. Look straight ahead. As you breathe out, that right leg is going to lift a little bit higher using hip strength. Then bring it back to hover. Again, lift, make sure all toes are still forward, back to hover. You want to start to feel this inner waistline here as well. So core, hip, find the lift, your center front core, hold in for balance, back to hover. Again, lift. Hover with resistance. Let's do 2 more of these. Lift. Isolate the movement to just the leg. Hover. Everything else is like a statue. Once more, lifting the leg up, and then slowly taking the leg all the way down for just a brief moment. Once the leg has lowered, you're going to now prop yourself up onto your left forearm. So make sure the elbow slides directly underneath the shoulder, and that from there, my shirt's so blousy you can't really tell. We don't want our ribs to collapse down. We don't want to sink down into that left arm. We want to push off the arm, pull the ribs in and up away from the floor, and the shoulder is far away from our ear. From there, hand back to hip. You're going to bend at your knees, pull both feet back behind you slightly. And then from there, lift both feet off the ground and keep them there. We're coming into clamshell, still outer hip, and a little bit more glute work. On your exhale, you're going to squeeze that outer hip and then lift that right knee up to the sky. Come back down, breath in, squeeze the legs together. Exhale, open up and close. Again, open, close. You're going to feel this a little bit more into your glute. Squeeze open, and then close it down. We're doing 2 more of these. Squeeze and close. Last time, let's open the knee to sky. Take it down about 1/3 of the way, then try to pulse it up, up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Legs together, feet to the floor, lengthen the legs back out again. Let's push off the ground, sitting up, swinging the legs around, transition to the other side, lying all the way down to start, but you can be propped up. You can prop your head up with your hand. So lie on our right side now, long line stacked, hand to hip, flexed feet, bottom leg pushing down firm, right? Sometimes it just is there. If we anchor down, it's going to help us stay balanced. Top leg hovered with a subtle inward rotation. Keep your neck in line with your spine. With your exhale, lifting the leg up high, and then back to hover. So the leg itself won't necessarily get up that high because we want to make sure that leg stays, again, inwardly rotated. Toes are forward, not rolling open to sky. Okay, back to hover. We're going to do 4 more of these. 4. So feel again, waistline and front core. Back to hover, breathe in. 3 more. Good, back to hover. Keep driving out through that heel. 2 more times, slow pull up. Resist as you come back to hover. 1 more time, lifting the leg. And then taking the leg all the way back down. We're propping now up to the right forearm. Slide the elbow underneath shoulder. Remember the ribs, right? Rather than kind of like swinging down towards the floor, we want to pull up and away from. That's going to activate your core right here. Hand back to hip, knees bend, feet behind, and then lift the feet up off the floor. As you exhale, open your left knee to the sky. Squeeze that glute firmly. Squeeze the legs then back together again. So like a clamshell, we're going to open that leg up. We're going to close it back down. We're going to do 4 more of these. 4. Good. Squeeze it in. 3 more times. Open. Squeeze in. 2 more times. Knee to sky. Good. Bring it back down. Check with your right arm. Lift out of it. 1 more time. Open the knee to sky. Only take down about 1/3 of the way, then pulse it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hug the legs in. Feet come down. Lengthen the legs out, and then roll onto your back. Once you roll onto your back, knees into chest. Place both hands to your right knee, and let the left leg lengthen away from you, either high up to sky, or down low to hover, or anywhere in between. Head can be grounded for this. Head and shoulders can be lifted. If lifted, eyes to navel. On an inhale, switch the legs. And then exhale, switch the legs. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, we switch. And then exhale, we switch. Legs are like pistons, straight out and in. Inhale.
Exhale. If you want a little bit more, hands behind the head, elbows really wide. Exhale to switch. 4 more rounds of breath. Inhale. Exhale. Legs strong and punchy. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Breath in. Breath out. Last time. Inhale. Reach. Exhale. Switch. Both knees in. Rest and recover. So we're just going to do a few from the abs series. We did a couple already, one being part of our warm-up and then one being part of our core starter. So we won't do those again. Okay, so what we'll move into next, that was our single leg stretch. We're going to move into double straight leg next. It's for the lower abdominal pelvic floor region, strengthener. So legs extend to the sky. Again, toes pointed for firmness. If you still need a bend in the knees, that's okay. It can be a little bit of a bend. It could be a lot, but you can do this in tabletop. But just making sure, again, tailbone is grounded, as we tend to, as humans, we tend to just pull in too close, right? Because this is easier because our butt's lifted off. Our core isn't in tight as much because the legs are close in. When the legs pull further away, that's when the core needs to engage to help protect the lower back. So legs up, stacked above hips, arms either beside you close or out to the sides. On an inhale, begin to lower the legs downward. That's a few inches at best. Exhale, belly in, lift the legs up again, nice and slow. Coming down as if your legs were moving through molasses. Pull the belly in tightly, lift up slowly. Again, feeling the lower belly region do the work. 4 more. 4. 3 more, coming down. Exhale, lifting. 2 more times. Once more, coming down slow. Pelvic floor pulling in and up to draw the legs to sky. Knees in, hands on the knees. Use your hands, open the legs up wide. Circle them around and back in together again. Continue to stir the legs around. Gus is just checking himself out. Massaging your hip flexors, working into the hip joints. Wonderful. And then when the legs come back together again, you'll keep them there. Just return your feet to the ground with knees bent. And we'll do one more from the ab series, our crisscross, which is going to activate the waistline, the obliques. So we'll start with feet grounded, and we can build upon that if we'd like to. Hands behind the head, elbows stay wide, and butt. And then we're going to lift up to the tips of the shoulder blades. Take a breath in. Just this lifted part, take it over to the right. Take a little twist. And then center yourself. Breathe in, trying to keep the head level throughout. Rotate to your left. And then center. Keep the arms as wide as you can here. Back to the right. Center, breathe in. Over to the left. Good, come back through center. So you're going to continue with this. If you want more legs, come to tabletop. Right, more core strength is needed now to support the lift of legs, the stabilization up. Right, squeeze the breath out to the bottom. Breathe it in. Squeeze it out. If you want even more, when you twist to the right, if your legs are in tabletop, take the left leg, stretch it away from you. Then as you come through center, leg pulls back, tabletop. Then as you rotate to the right, left, right leg extends away. Then tabletop as you come through. Let's do 2 more rotations to each side. Whichever variation works for you, and if you need to readjust, please do so. 1 more each. Last one. Good, come back through center, release and recover. Movement here or stillness, any sort of stretching you may like to do. Good. Let's reach the legs out long. Point the toes. Stretch the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers. Turn the palms to face away. Let your back lift off the ground, right? Arch the back, pop the ribs up. And then breathe into your front body. Big breath in to fill. Exhale to release. Couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, deep breath in. On the exhale, seal the ribs down, pull the knees in, release the hands. Hands to your knees. Lift up the head, neck, and shoulders again, eyes to navel. You're coiled into a tight ball. You're going to begin to rock yourself forward and back. But use more core strength to build up the movement until you've rocked up to balance point. Legs to tabletop, hands behind the knees to lift your chest up, shoulders back. You're gazing slightly towards the ceiling, not straight up, right? We don't want to compress the neck, but not straight ahead because that can tend to let us collapse more in the chest. So slightly upward to keep your lift. You can continue to hold lightly the backs of your legs, or you can release the hands and extend your arms out. This is your high boat. On an inhale, find your version of low boat. A little bit of movement or a lot bit of movement. Exhale, pull back up again. Come back on an inhale. Force a breath out. Use your core strength. Lift up. Exhale. Lean back. Lift up. 4 more. 4. Use that breath to help you. 3 more. 2 more times. Once more. Low boat. Hold it here for 3. Firm it up. 2. Breathe it out. 1. Pull everything in. Clasp behind knees. Feet to the ground. Sit tall. So your knees have to widen out a little bit. Then sitting up tall, take the soles of the feet together. Let the knees come all the way out. Feet don't have to be in really close. If their feet are in really close, sometimes the knees lift high, which isn't really allowing us to open our hips. So by pushing your feet further away from you, lets the knees open a bit more, which opens up the hips more, okay? So for a minute, hold your ankles so you can really sit up tall, keeping your flat back. You want to hinge forward. So find your length, maintain the length first. So again, see my back is nice and flat here. I haven't begun rounding yet. We will start to round, but generally when I say round, it automatically just goes chin down. You want your rounding to start right at the base, right at your tailbone. So feel your lower back begin rounding, which is going to pull your heart further forward. Then the middle back begins rounding and you're still pulling forward. Upper back begins rounding, and then finally the head comes down. So when you think about rounding that way from base all the way up, I am now a part of the toy. You're keeping a length in your vertebra. If you just dropped your chin to the chest, excuse me, you've collapsed and pulled back. And thank you, Gus, for distracting me. We've lost the pull and the stretch. So stay here. You want to breathe into the outer hips and the lower back. There's this kind of like this little belt that wraps around behind you. Luckily, this is towards the end of class, sir. Breath in, breath out. Let's take one more breath in. Exhale, begin to slowly walk back in, roll back up, sit tall. We're going to cross the legs next. We want our sits bones to be rooted straight down. Start with tented fingers, hands beside your hips, then reach your right arm high as you breathe in. Keep that sit bone glued down and stretch over to your left side. So notice I'm trying to maintain length equally to both side bodies. Even when I stretch over to my left, I don't want to collapse into it. I want to be long and lifted and arcing, right? We'll arc that shape. So reach out with the fingertips, but drop the shoulder from your ear. With that anchoring of the sit bone, it gives more pull into the entire side body, from the hip all the way up and out through the arm. Take one more inhale here, right into the side body. And then belly in tightly, exhale slowly, pull up, and let the arm float down. We'll do our other side. Left arm, let's reach it up high, ground the sits bone in, and then maintain your length, particularly in your right side body as you stretch over to the right side. So reaching upward as well. Breathe into the left side space. Just stretch it all out. Good, one more inhale. Tighten up the belly, lift up slowly, and then let the arm float back down slow. Both arms are beside you. Let's turn both palms to face up. Yeah, on an inhale, lift the arms out wide and up high overhead. Let the palms connect above you. Exhale your hands to your heart space. Inhale, reach down, out, and up. And then exhale. Good. One last time. Inhale, sweep up, let your eyes follow the hands to the sky. And then watch the hands travel down to your heart center and then lower and stay here. Chin to chest, close your eyes in the space. This is your time at the end of this practice to thank yourself for giving your body, mind, and soul opportunity of movement, of breath work, and connection to self. And just be grateful for your body and its ability to do these things. We are given one, so really taking the time to listen to it, honor it, and respect it. Thank you guys for joining in this recorded meeting. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week. Thank you. I'm sure it was a nice job. And I always get comments, so I know how you guys are doing. So enjoy this, and I will see you guys all next week. Okay.